he was a little cranky and a little tired. And for some reason, my husband chose to take a bunch of pictures of him in the morning. And interestingly enough, he has an airplane outfit on, and he waved. And that was the last picture that he took of him. He would like put his hand up to wave bye-bye. The captain from Rockland Fire Department answered the phone and said, I could hear screaming in the background, and I'm like, what happened? And he said, are you Zach's mom? And I said, yes, I am. And he said, Zach's on his way to the hospital. I hadn't been able to walk, and I'm running through the hospital, running at full speed. Went into the emergency room right as they were bringing him in. And I'm kicking and screaming and fighting, and they won't let me in the room. They were in there for a good 45 minutes before they finally came out and said, I'm sorry, there was nothing we can do. Time of death, 11:33. And I just made them wrap him in these blankets. And I just remember holding him in this rocking chair.
I have a boy, son. So when we find out that I was expecting a girl, so we were so happy. When I get home, I stayed with her for 4 days. And I still remember those 4 days, and I like to make them last forever. She had a really bad night, and yeah, she was sleeping with me. I put her in the car seat and everything, and on my way to the clinic, I just saw something really weird. I said, I took her hand and just let it go. It went like this, and it said, Mom, something's wrong. And they called 911. I just saw my baby laying on the bed, and I thought, is she okay? I said, I'm sorry. And that's it.
You don't get a second chance. Too many babies are dying because they are being put to sleep in unsafe places. Where a baby sleeps can be a matter of life or death. Sleep-related deaths are the leading cause of preventable death for babies birth to 1 year of age. Infants 6 months and younger are the most vulnerable.
Since the year 2000, we've had an average of 2 deaths per month in Sacramento County from what we call sleep-related deaths.
It's really hard for us to make that decision and say, you know what, we have to stop trying to resuscitate this infant because we know that they're dead. And usually in these situations, the families come a little bit behind the ambulance. They may not be right in the ambulance. And having the family members come into the ER and see their baby laying on the gurney dead is really, really challenging as, you know, a mother and a healthcare provider, having to really watch that parent go through that grief of having lost their child.
How do infant sleep-related deaths happen, and what can you do to keep it from happening to your child? 80 to 90% of infant sleep-related deaths are associated with unsafe sleep practices, such as putting your baby to sleep somewhere other than a crib or bassinet like a futon or sofa, sharing the bed with your baby or having your baby share a sleeping space with other children, using fluffy bedding, blankets, or toys in the crib, or putting your baby to sleep on their side or tummy. The good news is that you have the ability to reduce your baby's risk of a sleep-related death. In fact, it's very preventable if you practice these safe sleeping tips for naps and at bedtime. So how exactly can you protect your baby? The answer is as easy as knowing your ABCs. Always practice these ABCs of infant safe sleeping when placing your baby to sleep for nap time or nighttime. The A stands for alone. Babies should always sleep in their own crib or bassinet.
There are several things that can put children at risk of dying in their sleep, and one of the first things is having the children sleep with someone else, whether it's the parents or siblings. If they're with someone else, they're at greater risk of suffocation or other kinds of dangers.
Sleeping alone doesn't mean that your baby has to be totally alone in a room. They can be in the same room that you're in, but they need to be in their own crib or bassinet. Sleeping in the bed with other children or even parents or grandparents can be dangerous. Others in bed with your baby can accidentally suffocate them by simply lying too close to their mouth or nose, or by rolling onto them while asleep. Your baby should not sleep with stuffed animals, pillows, or blankets. These soft items could accidentally fall over your baby's face and obstruct their breathing. A sleeper or sleep sack is enough to keep your baby comfortable and warm. Keep room temperature at what would be comfortable for a lightly clothed adult. The B stands for back. Babies who sleep on their backs are much less likely to die of infant sleep-related deaths. Don't worry, babies may spit up, but they won't choke just because they're on their backs.
You may have grandparents or aunts or even great-grandparents who are providing care for these babies or working with the parents or giving advice to the mom on how to put them to sleep, and they may be telling them to put them to sleep on their bellies or on their tummies. But we know for a fact that the safer position is on the back.
To prevent sleep-related deaths, it's back to sleep only. The C stands for crib. Cribs and bassinets are the safest places for babies to sleep. According to one scientific study, the risk of infant suffocation in an adult bed was estimated to be 20 times higher than a crib. Adult beds aren't made for babies to sleep in and can be dangerous. They are often too soft and can cause babies to suffocate. Make sure your crib mattress is firm and fits snugly with no space between the mattress and the side of the crib where the baby could become trapped. Sofas, futons, or car seats are not safe sleep places for your baby either. Keep pillows, bumpers, stuffed toys, blankets, and anything else that could accidentally fall over your baby's face and suffocate them out of the crib. Make sure to keep the crib clutter-free.
When you're breastfeeding the baby, you're going to breastfeed the baby and then put the baby right into the bassinet. And if your partner can help you by getting up to put the baby back in the bassinet, then you're going to make that promise to each other that you're going to keep the baby in a safe place.
Mothers who exclusively breastfeed their baby should discuss infant-safe sleeping with a lactation consultant. In addition to following the ABCs, here are some more important tips. If you're going to be drinking or partying, have someone else put your baby to bed, not you. Don't smoke before, during, or after the birth of your baby, and don't let other people smoke around the baby either. Make sure your baby's not too warm. Keep a comfortable temperature in their room. If it's comfortable for you, it's comfortable for your baby. They don't need all the extra clothes, blankets, or beanies. Think about using a clean, dry pacifier when putting your baby down to sleep, but don't force it. If you're breastfeeding, it's best to wait till the child is at least 1 month old or used to breastfeeding before using a pacifier. Don't rely on baby monitors to reduce the risk of sleep-related deaths. Your baby does need tummy time, but it should be when they're awake and someone is watching them.
Babies need to sleep alone, on their backs, and in a crib.
I think it's really wise when you're pregnant to anticipate that you're going to be sleeping your baby alone in a safe environment and get that environment ready.
You may think you're doing the right thing, but you must follow the ABCs of safe sleeping.
Being a parent is a fun and exciting time, but it comes with responsibilities. Take them seriously and keep your baby safe while they sleep.
By always following the ABCs of infant safe sleeping, you might just save the life of your precious baby boy or girl.